So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Erica Ayuba. I am tasked to discuss the first part of our report, which is the introduction of the effective communication, and my partner, Ms. Balmori, will explain the last or the second part of our topic. So before I begin with my report, I have here a quote from John Powell that communication work for those who work at it. Next is that our objectives is that explain and discuss the effective communication, explain the important of the areas of communication, and then apply appropriate conversational skills that results in effective communication. The effective communication. Effective communication is a process of exchanging ideas, thoughts, knowledge, and information such that the purpose or intention is fulfilled in the best possible manner. So, effective communic in simple words, it is nothing but the expresentation of views of sender in a way that best understood by the receiver. So as you can see, the communication is a two-way process, meaning that a two-way communication involves feedback from the receiver to the sender. So this allows that the sender will know if the message was received accurately by the receiver. Communication is negotiated, which means that the sender and the receiver listen to each other. The message then gathers information to respond. So there is a picture below that shows that the arrow pointed out from sender to receiver, meaning that when the sender sent a message to the receiver and then the receiver gets the message and personalize it, the receiver in return will send feedback and he will become the sender. So the original sender will become the receiver and reacts to the feedback given by the new sender. So I have three types of communication: the verbal communication, the non-verbal communication, and the written communication. So first one is the verbal communication. Of course, when we engage in speaking with others, it can be face-to-face, over the telephone, or via Skype or Zoom. Next is the non-verbal communication. What we do while we speak often says more than the actual words. So the nonverbal communication includes the facial expression, the posture, the eye contact, hand movements, and touch. So I will be explaining this for the next pages. So next is the written communication. Whether it is an email, a memo, or a report, a Facebook post, or a Twitter, a contract, etc., all forms of written communications have the same goal: to disseminate information in a clear and concise manner. Next to that is the three areas of communication. There are three areas of communication. The first one is the non-verbal communication. Second is the conversational skills. And the third one is the assertiveness. So I will be explaining the first one, which is the non-verbal communication. So according to Peter F. Drucker, the most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. So it's not all about hearing the words of the speaker, but it's about how he expressed the information or message through his body. So there we have here wordless signals. The first one is the facial expression. So the human face is extremely expressive, able to convey a countless emotions without saying a word. So unlike to add another other nonverbal communication, the facial expressions are universal. Through that, you can express happiness, surprise, fear, disgust, and anger. Next slide is the eye gaze in the posture. The eyes plays an important role in non-verbal communication, and such things as long as looking, staring, and blinking are important non-verbal behaviors. So basically, eye gaze is the way we play and use our eyes when we are speak with other people. Eye gaze plays an important role in every communication. With the use of eyes, we can tell something what we are trying to say or convey a message. And then also with the use of eye, we could know if the person are telling lies or not. So it is really important to have an eye contact while you are speaking, because when you don't look to the when you don't look people in the eye, they are less likely to look at you. And then when they stop looking at you, they start thinking about something other than what you are saying. So when it happens, they stop listening. So in contrary, when you look someone in the eye while speaking, he or she is more likely to listen, to look at you, and then more likely to buy you and your message. Next is the posture. So the posture is the way you sit or stand, and also stand can also communicate your comfort level, professionalism, and general disposition towards a person or a conversation. So posture also plays an important role where we can know if the person is wanted to listen and perceive our message. So if the person is having a good posture, we can tell that the person is enjoying the conversation between the other people or between you as a speaker. And then, however, if the person is having a poor posture, it shows that the person is not willing to listen nor perceive the message that you are trying to say to them. Next is that gesture. Deliberately movements and signals are important way to communicate meaning without words. So gesture includes the movements of hands, the face, or other parts of the body. Through the use of gesture, we can express something or say ideas, feelings, and emotions. And if my gesture is like this, we can say, or meaning is that we say good or I like it. So when we do this kind of gesture, we can tell that okay or meaning is okay or perfect. And sometimes other people also consider that as money. So there are different kind of gestures that we need to know in order to understand and understand what information is being conveyed. So lastly is the tone of voice. The speaking style, pitch, rate, and volume all contribute to understanding the speaker. Changes in vocal tone during a conversation are also a noticeable non-verbal cue that contributes to your understanding of the person speaking. So the tone of voice, so from this we can know if the person is angry or not when their tone of voice is changed while you are having a conversation. So when you say a word in a strong tone of voice, listener will interpret it that you are angry. So the same words said in a gloomy tone of voice will convey that you are sad. So there are different kind of tone the different kind of tone that we may use to express our feelings. So rules of nonverbal communication. The first is repetition. They can repeat the message verbally. For example, when someone asking for direction, you often repeat your answer with gestures. Next is a contradiction. They can contradict the message that you are trying to convey to them. It's like you're sending mixed messages. For example, looking very upset while screaming, "I'm not angry." So the result, people may think that you are untruthful. The third one is the substitution. They can substitute the verbal messages that we are trying to speak. For example, our eyes often convey a far more vivid messages than our words. And the fourth one is complementing. They may add to or complement a verbal messages. For example, you are having a presentation. When it was done, your co-workers will do two thumbs up to show that you are doing a good job. So the last part is the assenting, meaning they clearly represent what the message means and highlight the important statement. And then the people may use tools to accent or amplify the message that is sent by doing touch, voice pitch, gestures, and those are nonverbal behaviors can also use to moderate or tone down aspects of verbal messages as well. So for example, a person who is verbally expressing anger may accent the verbal message by shaking a fist,